In the previous lesson, you learned the fundamentals of roles and permissions in Drupal. In this lesson, I will start with another dimension, that is Drupal's user account management. On almost any kind of site that you build, you will want your visitors to create user accounts on your site. Whether it is for something as simple as leaving comments on your site or for using your web application. I had mentioned in the previous lesson that the complete RBAC and a powerful user management functionality comes to you out of the box in Drupal core. When you design a new site, you must decide how new users are created for your site. You can control all of this from the account settings screen. Traverse from the configuration admin menu and choose this account settings screen. And this is the page that we want. I will now walk you through the settings on this page. The first control is a checkbox for enabling a personal contact form for every user. Suppose I am viewing the profile of another user. What this checkbox does is it puts an extra tab here on their profile for a contact page. The second user's contact details are not revealed, but you can actually send a message from Drupal. If you uncheck this control, then this tab is not shown. The next control is just a simple text box which can be used to rename the default anonymous role. For example, you might choose to call the anonymous visitors as just visitors. And then this next control is interesting. When you install new external modules to extend the functionality of your site, those modules will expose the new permissions. By default, only the admin role will be able to control new modules. But you can choose to give this privilege to a different role here. For example, if you create a role only for module maintenance, this is where you would want to configure it. We don't have any new roles created, so it's not showing here. But this is how you can do it. This next section is what is interesting to us. You can choose who can register accounts, whether it is administrators only or visitors can create, but admin has to approve explicitly. I will just switch browsers and you can see this in action. If you click on this login link and if the site allows visitors to create their own accounts, then you will see this tab for creating a new account. This tab will vanish otherwise. In that case, only users who already have an account can log in. When the visitor creates their own account, that process is called as user self-registration. And you will see this term frequently going ahead. Getting back here, you can choose whether email verification is mandatory or not with this checkbox for user self-registration process. This is always best left on so that you get valid email addresses in your database. You can also choose to display a password strength indicator when the password is being created. Now, what happens when you delete an existing user account? In some cases, this question gets tricky, especially when there is user generated content. It is a question that you will have to carefully consider. There are three options given here. The real choice is whether you will delete the account or you just disable the account. There will be several ramifications with each choice which depend on what your site is about. So I urge you to spend time understanding the choices here with the business context of your website. In this next control, you can set a special email address for the from field of all automated emails about user account creation that go out of your Drupal installation. And following that, we have all the automated emails related to account creation. You can change the text for any of them to suit the branding of your own company. They are all templates and dynamically created with variables. For example, the username. Read through this description for a full list of all the available variables that you can use while modifying this email text. Every case is covered here. but you should pay special attention to the all important mails of account activation and password recovery. These are two mails with very high viewership where you might want to give special instructions on site usage. And when you are completely done, you will have to hit the save configuration. So with that, I will end this lesson. User management can be configured with a fine grain on Drupal. Complex user management functionality can be created using the controls given to you on this page. And then you can fine tune the functionality to best suit your company's branding and personality. In the next lesson, we will see how to actually create new users on the system and also the user self-registration process. So see you in the next lesson.